Hello and welcome to Digital Trust World 2021. I'm Michelle Goode, Chief Operating Officer at Goode Intelligence, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Emma Lindley, co-founder of Women in Identity, a not-for-profit organisation focused on developing talent and diversity in the identity industry. I have the pleasure of speaking with Emma today as we've recognised her as being a visionary in the field of identity. The Goode Intelligent Visionaries Award is in recognition for outstanding and lasting impact in the digital trust industry, and we've awarded Emma the 2021 Identity Visionary in recognition of the innovation that she has personally brought to the industry and for the lasting impact of driving diversity and inclusion for all. I'm delighted that Emma has joined me today to officially receive this award and to talk us through a little of her work in identity and to share her views with us. Welcome, Emma, and congratulations.
Thanks very much, Michelle. I'm delighted to receive this award. Delighted, obviously, that it's been attributed to me, but I want to also recognise all of the volunteers that work within Women in Identity and make it the organisation that it is today.
So, Emma, you have been a driving force in bringing the question of diversity and inclusion to the forefront of the identity industry, especially through co-founding and leading Women in Identity. Can you tell us a little about your background and what led to your decision to establish the organisation?
Sure, yeah, happy to. So I've worked in the industry for 19 years now. It is 19 years, and I think, you know, worked in a kind of variety of different contexts, and I think the decision to kind of start thinking about starting an organisation that we have done came really from about 4 or 5 years ago. There was a group of us that were thinking around the sort of same sort of thing around the same sort of time. There was a group of about 4 of us, and we contacted each other and said, you know, we don't have a women in group in the identity industry. And there are obviously lots of, you know, these kind of groups, women in tech groups across, you know, different types of industries and across the tech industry more generally. And I think at the point in time we were like, well, we're not really sure what we would start and what value it would bring and why we would do it. And so what we decided to do was to run a number of meetups across the US and in mainland Europe and in the UK to really get an understanding about what the industry thought women in identity should be and what we should focus on. And that's really how we came up with the kind of MVP. So we kind of gathered feedback like you would you know, any kind of product design. And we built our kind of classic MVP, and we launched it as a non-profit in 2019. And we now have, I mean, we've, you know, somebody described it the other day as we've grown like gangbusters. So we've got, you know, we've got over 2,000 members now globally. We've got over kind of 10 sponsors. We've got, you know, over 30 volunteers working globally in different regions, people in New Zealand, India, Australia, the USA. We've got people now in Ghana. And so, you know, we've grown a huge amount. But I think what we've started to do now really is started to look at, you know, what our evolution is going to be. And one of those kind of moments really has been looking at this project that we've started, which is around, which we're calling our Code of Conduct. But essentially, really, it's looking about how we can help organisations within the industry really design for inclusion. Because if we think about identity products per se, identity products, when we think about digital identity products, they have the ability to be able to, they're the gatekeepers really to other digital products. So for example, if you're opening a digital bank account, you'll have to go through some kind of identity process, and digital identity systems are obviously the kind of piece that is the building block between those and digital services. Now, really, we think about the digital identity systems. If we don't build those systems for inclusion, and ensure that everybody can use those systems, we're actually excluding people before they even get to banking. So, people talk about, exclusion from, financial services products. And I'm kind of like, but actually what we may have done inadvertently is excluded them at the digital identity system or the identity system, not actually at the banking products itself. So for me, really focusing, that's what this project is focused on, is ensuring that we have inclusion built within digital identity systems. Now, interestingly, when we think about some of the areas in which organizations talk about inclusion, so for example, the World Bank has it within their principles. We see it in some of the self-sovereign identity community. I've seen it recently with a trust framework within bringing together the kind of African countries where they're trying to do an interoperable identity system. But often when we look at how inclusion is actually added into those policy documents, it's often just a word, or it might be a couple of sentences. Now, if I was a product manager, putting my identity product manager's hat on, and thinking about, well, how do I build for inclusion? That's actually quite difficult to interpret, still relatively subjective. There's not a lot of detail there. So what we're trying to do within this project, within Women in Identity, is ensure that we help those product managers have a code of conduct, kind of a set of guiding principles, but also a framework in which a product manager could pick it up and say, right, I know the questions that I need to ask myself and my team before we start building this product. I know what questions I need to ask as we're going through building this team. I know where to start from, when I actually look at my team members and try and understand how diverse the team is that I've got building this product, and perhaps looking at the areas of unconscious bias that we might have within our own team. And started to think that from the product design perspective, because that's really how we need to start thinking as an industry if we are to make our products more inclusive.
Absolutely, I think you're quite right, Emma. So tell me, as Women in Identity continues to grow from strength to strength as an organisation, what are your plans for the future?
So, we're definitely still going to grow our membership base. If anything, the last 2 years has told us, we've obviously got over 2,000 members. I think we will. The other thing that we have really started to drive is our jobs board. So our sponsors, and we have a number of different sponsors, and we're really grateful for their support of the organisation. But the reason why some of them come to us is because we are able to reach this diverse membership base that we have. And really focusing on us promoting and helping our sponsors who really want to have diverse teams, and promote those open roles that they have, and help support them in kind of promoting those open roles to our membership base. And in turn, our members then get the ability to foresee which organisations really want to have diverse representation and want to have candidates from a diverse pool. So we're really going to be focusing and helping our members, in that kind of application process. I think the other thing, thinking about our work within the Code of Conduct, and we'll do the initial release of that work, will be going out, a little bit will be going out this month as a little bit of a teaser in September, and then we'll be doing a bit more release of that work in October, and then continuing through to 2022. I think we will start to think about more research and more work and more support that we can provide as an organisation. Because ultimately everybody that is a volunteer in Women in Identity, everybody's a member that Women in Identity, works in the identity industry. We are engineers, we are product managers, we're heads of marketing, we're heads of business development. We understand the challenges that the industry has. And I think we have a really important mission to enable the industry from the inside, to help the industry understand how we can build products better, how we can build for inclusion, and how actually by having more diverse teams, that means that we can build better products as an industry. So really trying to trying to help the industry kind of raise its game and improve the products overall that we're building as an industry.
It's a really exciting mission, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is.
So tell us, how can the audience find out more and become members?
So anybody can join. So it's actually, we make a membership deliberately open to everybody and as inclusive as possible. So it's free to join Women in Identity. If you go to the URL www.womeninidentity.org, anybody can join up there. We're actually going to be launching our new platform. That's going to be at the end of September. So we're going to have an exciting new IT purpose-built membership platform with, exciting things like the jobs board and different chapters regionally. So anybody can go and join up there. We'll be sort of launching new things like member forums and things like that. So that's really where to go and join. We're obviously on social media as well. So Twitter, LinkedIn, and also on Instagram. Brilliant.
It's exciting, and we're looking forward to seeing what comes next. Thank you very much for joining us today, and congratulations again.